Comics Plus, what's going on? My name's Akasan. How you guys doing? Let's go ahead and get into it. I hope you guys are doing well in all this shutdown madness. But let's get into it. You guys messaged me here, pulled me away from Animal Crossing, Final Fantasy, and all that other stuff that we've been doing on Twitch recently. Pulled me away to let me know on Twitter that Venom, there's a new teaser trailer for Venom 2 that has come out, and it's called Venom, Let There Be Carnage. Let's see what it's all about. Come on now. Venom, 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 Venom. All right. I love that logo though. I love that. There be Carnage. Oh, okay. Well, there you go. June 25th, 2021. June 25th, 2021. That is over a year from now. Well, all right. I guess that's all we're going to get right now. Which is fine. We got all things considered. There's other things we've been waiting for that have not come out recently. But what I will say is, as a Venom fan, where the fuck is that poster? I've done so many redesigns in the studio that I don't know if I... here it is. I found it. As a huge Venom fan, it's amazing to me, just from the nostalgia point, to see that logo modernized a bit for the movie, for sure. But ideally, they're keeping that same sort of look, that feel. As a fan, I have all the Venom comics. It's so good to see that they're continuing Venom. Now, as also a Venom fan with a Venom tattoo, I ultimately hope they get it right. That's the big problem. That's the big problem. I've only seen the movie once. That was enough. And I guess the positive side of me hopes that taking what they can and taking what they can do right now, with all the different negotiations that goes on between them and the House of Mouse and, you know, what have you not, I just hope that somehow, some way, Venom 2 will be a little closer to what I would expect of a Venom movie. It's definitely disagreeable, and I definitely think it's debatable. But to me, the first movie was lacking so many things in terms of, as a hardcore fan, of how to enjoy it. And I think the best way I could explain it is that the movie just really sometimes felt like it was Venom in name only for the most part, and as I mentioned before, that it was a movie that was, if it had come out in 1990, it would have been fine. But it's just the level has been, the level of comic movies has been raised so much now that it's just harder to enjoy at this point, I think, particularly for me. And I don't think I'm alone in that statement. You know, I've seen other people. Yes, obviously you're gonna get the vloggers and you're gonna get the people making videos for clicks and views, saying they loved it, but ultimately when it comes down to it, that wasn't a good movie. It was a movie, that's for sure. But, you know, we can definitely be honest, even if it was your first time watching, being introduced into Venom and what it's about, there's things you can kind of be like, okay, you definitely threw this movie together just to make something happen. Now, all that being said, like I'm saying, is I hope that now at least we can get to some point in the future of whatever we saw in that first movie, we can get it a little closer to home. You know, look, White Spider, it doesn't, at this point, I guess it doesn't have to be Spider-Man, but inspired by Spider-Man's black suit. I understand that, the whole alien symbiote type of idea, but sooner than later, you're gonna have to get it a little closer to the Venom that I would say most people all love, with the web slinging in emulating Spider-Man's powers and look and feel. So otherwise you just kind of have this kind of like Hulk-ish blob thing, and I don't know. The for me particularly, I enjoyed so much with the invisible, the fact that the costume could emulate different clothing and all that. Now, granted, the ultimate version of Venom is a little bit different, but at the same time, they still had some sort of connections to Spider-Man. So I hope now, with all the deals that's been made with the House of Mouse, and we got Andy Serkis behind some of this, and I guess with Carnage now as well, I hope I'm going to be able to enjoy the movie a lot more. Who knows? It'll be very interesting, particularly with Carnage being included, because the thing that was always interesting about Venom, and I will say that the first movie tried to get it right as close as possible, but if I remember, that alien was up there like eating dogs and like humans and things like that, eating people, eating police officers for whatever reason. Venom was the lethal protector of innocence, and that's what made Carnage so wild. Was essentially what would have happened if somebody with Spider-Man's powers, which essentially is Venom's powers, or which is where Venom's powers came from, someone with Venom's abilities, Spider-Man's agility, Spider-Man's power, things like that, was harnessed by a fucking serial killer, and Cletus Cassidy was the wildest embodiment of that. Particularly, one of the things I remembered the most when they first introduced him in the Amazing Spider-Man comic line was Spider-Man was investigating some sort of robbery or some sort of incident, and there was all this blood that was sprayed all over. Some shit was written in blood by Carnage, and Spider-Man was like, wait, but all the victims were unharmed. And he's like, what the fuck? He wrote this with his own blood? Like, that's fucking wild, man. So, it'll be very interesting to see how they go about this movie, number 2. I'm not expecting much, but like I said, a lot can happen in more than a year, and hopefully we can get a little more sort of cohesiveness with this universe. Particularly, I have higher hopes now in the fact that even with Morbius, you do have a version of Spider-Man in the background. I personally hope, like, what I would, at this point in time, I personally would just love to just have 2 different Spider-Men in whatever. Like, they don't really need to have it connected to MCU, just to have a little bit more cohesiveness. Like, I would love to see if we can try to get Andrew Garfield back, a more matured Spider-Man, back in. And, you know, just like the fact that we have different comic books, Amazing Spider-Man, Spectacular Spider-Man, Web of Spider-Man, and there was one more, the Spectacular Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man, Web of Shadows or something like that, Web of Spider-Man. There were 4 of them, actually. Oh, Amazing Fantasy, there you go. Maybe. No, I'm thinking Action Comics. Anyways, and the fact that we've had several different Spider-Man issues, I wouldn't mind having different Spider-Man storylines in terms of Spider-Man movie Spider-Man, but who knows? Shit, if the Spider-Verse comes out, I'll be all set. No excuses after that. Guys, thank you so much, and I will talk to you on the next one. Red Nation, stand up, speak up. Let me know what you think. Comics Plus by Akasan can turn a 20-second teaser into a 10-minute video. Talk to you next time. Peace.